Hi, this is May Dugla here with Late Night Hangout Project Freedom. We are here. It is 11 o'clock at night in Hawaii, 5 a.m. on the East Coast. And it's kind of late for us. Um, and I usually do this time because, everybody is either finished with whatever they were doing for the evening or the baby's asleep. Unfortunately, the baby's not asleep right now, so I might have to leave. However, I wanted to start the hangout and introduce some people. First off, tonight we're going to be interviewing Isaac and Candice. So, Isaac and Candice, do you want to say hi?
Hi.
Hello.
Didn't hear a hi from Isaac.
Hello.
Okay. And then we have David. David, you want to say hi?
Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry, I had the mic muted.
Yeah, David is actually at work in Maui. That's how dedicated he is to this business. So anyway, oh, guess what? We have Dan. Dan is joining our call.
Hey.
Dan Collins from Las Vegas. Hi, Dan. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Dan the man.
Hey, Dan.
How's it going,
Dan,
guys?
I'm gonna
Yes.
have you ask Isaac and Candice some questions because I gotta check out. No,
So-
my baby's crying and I'm freaking out. So I'm gonna start the first question and then I want you guys, David and Dan, to start asking questions. And I want you guys, basically, I want this hangout to share Isaac and Candice's story because I feel like Isaac and Candice have done a lot on our team and they had success pretty fast. They have so much energy. They're so they have a wonderful vision. And Isaac and Candice, for a first question, and then I'm gonna run away because I just cannot handle my baby crying this long. This first question is: I want you to share with everyone what was it like when you first started the business, and what were your biggest challenges, and what happened. Like, give kind of your story.
All right, so basically, to take it even just a little further than that, I moved to Hawaii about 3 years ago with $100 in my pocket. And about 2 years after running that business successfully, and still run it successfully today, I love what I do. I opened my own personal training business. I realized that my income was directly tied to the amount of time that I could spend with my clients. So it didn't matter how much I charged. I had created a salary cap for myself. So about 2 years into it, I understood that the real key to financial freedom was passive income. And I discovered this proven system and proven formula that I put to work. I literally had no computer experience. I tell the story often. It's quite funny when I tell people I didn't even know how to open up a tab on a computer. So May, she asked me what my biggest challenge was, right?
Yes.
So that's like literally the biggest challenge was learning how to open a freaking tab on my computer. I had to I would close down each website I was on and reopen up another one. It was horrible. So when I learned how to open up a tab on a computer, it was like lightning struck me. The bell went off. Something. It's like, oh my God, this is so much easier. And that was really my biggest challenge was being computer illiterate, having no network marketing experience, no internet marketing experience, no sales experience, no computer experience. And it was making the choice to invest in something that I had no idea how to do. That was the real struggle. It was, but it wasn't too much of a struggle at all because when I realized what it was and the resource that I had found and the possibilities were limitless, then I did everything. I bought all the products. It took me less than a week. I did it, and I just figured. I have this saying where I say, skill and talent will always take a back seat to intention and conviction. So my intention was clear, and I had the conviction to move forward. The skill and talent came later. So that's really my biggest struggle was just being able to move forward without knowing anything and just finding a little thing to do and taking action on that little thing. And then, now I can run my own Facebook campaigns. I have over 1,000 people on my email list. And I still have a lot to learn, but I'm a long ways away from not opening up a tab.
And I actually have a different story.
Oh, you do?
I do, for me.
Okay.
What's interesting is I actually really didn't start this business until about a week ago. And we technically started last August. He started the business, and I kind of watched him as he grew into it. And I was skeptical at first, I have to say, only because, when we were dating, the only thing he knew how to do was email. And so when he said, I'm joining this internet marketing company, I was like, all you know how to do is email. So as I watched him grow,
did I know how to email?
Yeah, you did.
I did. That's cool. Yeah.
But as I watched him grow, I saw like he really put in the hours into it, which maybe with someone who is computer literate, it would only take them maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes to do something. But it took him an hour, but he kept with it. He didn't give up. And what's great about that is we actually have a lot of team members that actually don't know how to do a lot on the computer. So for them, Isaac is inspiring. There's so much to learn on the computer. And so he just keeps telling them, take it easy, do it step by step, and learn what you can, and don't get overwhelmed. Just keep going without giving up. And again, for my part, when he started, I just kind of assisted him. I started doing a little blog here and there. But my problem was that I didn't take ownership over it. I didn't really feel like I had a voice. I didn't know what I wanted to say or who I wanted to say it to, and I was actually really shy and nervous. On my own Facebook, I only post every now and then. And so to really put myself out there scared the SHIT out of me. So I actually joined this women's boot camp. And it started about a week ago, and for whatever reason, this women's boot camp has so much energy rolling behind it, so much training, so much inspiration, and I really thrive in groups. And so they gave out assignments, and now I have this newfound energy, and I'm like rolling with it. I was able to sign up 2 people yesterday, and I'm just a machine now, like really posting every day, doing videos, doing all that I need to do to just get myself out there. And I'm just so excited because now we can be a team, we can be partners, and do this together, because our vision is to have a family and to create passive income and get 10 other people making $10,000 a month, and then eventually open up our wellness center and do retreats. And the list goes on, but we have to start somewhere, and right now, this is where we're starting.
So just to clarify, your biggest challenge was getting started.
Yes. Getting started is very hard because it takes all of you. Like, you need to commit 100%. It can't just be like 49. It can't be 98. Like, literally, you got to put your heart, mind, soul all into it so you can
It really comes to making a choice.
Yes.
Is what it is. You don't have to, right? It's not so intense. You just
I know, but
it's pretty simple. It's just making a choice.
For someone who is like really afraid, it's really making that choice and just going for it, no matter what the fears, no matter what the doubts that come through my head. It's like just
how's it working out for you? Pretty good?
It's going.
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
You're on fire.
I'm on fire.
Yeah, she made us $200 yesterday. Residual, so I'll make $200 next month, and that's going to grow into $400 or $500 in the month after that. So she's on fire. Nice to have you aboard.
Yeah.
So that's it. So Dan the man, my friend, I know you have some questions that you want to ask me, so feel free. Whatever.
Yeah, cool. Right on. Well, first of all, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm actually out on break right now on my job, so not a very. I know some have cool backgrounds, hypnotic, but It's not really hypnotic. Anyway, my question to you, Isaac, I think is something. I think I've asked you this before, but I think it's important to bring it into this conversation. I'm not super. I mean, I knew how to open up tabs and things like that before I started. So the technical part, I kind of, I kind of understand that more. But where I think a lot of where my question lies is kind of more, in Candice's field. Like, how do you break through, or what allowed you to break through when you were having trouble maybe shooting your videos or just kind of getting yourself out there? I think, Isaac, you kind of answered this, but I want to just pose, I don't know, what helps people to be able to start, getting their voice out there, I guess, is my question. I don't know if that's clear or not.
No, that's clear. Yeah, I can answer that, because it's actually it's a bigger question in a whole, right? What helps people get over and break through to be able to do things to get their business moving forward, to get out of their comfort zone, right? To move through and do things that they haven't done before. How do they break through and start to do those things? Yeah, is that what you're asking, pretty much?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the cool thing is that's been happening to me for the last 10, 11 months, right? And another one just happened to me last week. So when I first started, basically, it was just a clear choice. And I don't really say decision, because I find decisions are based upon prior events, things that have happened in your life prior to. So you kind of look back and you say, oh, well, that happened, so I'm going to decide to do this instead. So a choice is basically just coming from no past or future kind of thought. It's just, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do. So the real thing is the choice, and I chose to move forward. But the key is, how bad do you want to change your position in life? That's really the question, right? How bad do you really want it? Is it just an idea that you have? Is it just sort of a decision or something that you're thinking about? Or, do you really want to fucking change? Do you want to live a different lifestyle? Do you want to have things that you never thought you could really have before, or only dreamed about having? And I'm not just talking monetary. I'm talking about spiritual abundance and relationship abundance and love, and frickin' money is right there with it too. I don't have any problem with money. So basically, I just had to make that choice and say, I want something more, and I want to learn how to do it, and I want to grow my imagination, because really our checkbook is limited by our imagination. The smaller our imagination, the smaller our finances are going to be. We grow our imagination, right? We start to learn how to make more money, and we start to grow the skills to earn more money, right? So basically, fast forward now to just about a week ago, and I was on this call for the leaders of the team, and Keala had put us on there, and he says, guys, this is a special workshop that some of the 7-figure earners and top 6-figure earners are going to be putting together, and we want you guys to attend. And we only have 15 spots open, and there's literally only 5 spots left. And what they're teaching in this workshop is phenomenal, and I need it. I could definitely use it. So when I got off the phone, I wanted to go, but I thought about it, and I said, well, I was like, that's a lot of money. Let me check what I have to do. And I started asking myself questions, and I said, okay, this is one question. I say, if money was not an issue, how long would it take for me to decide to go to this thing? And it was literally a half a second. I would go to this thing right now and spend the money right now if money was not an issue. So that literally pissed me off. That pissed me off, that money dictates what I can do to better my life, for me to go after my highest values, for me to live the way I want to, and just do the things that are good for me. Money dictates that. So I'm tired of wasting energy thinking about my finances and my limited ability to do what's best for me and my family. And that really irritated me, right? That was a breakthrough, right? And this comes almost a year later after joining the business. That was a breakthrough, and that grew more of a desire in me. And since then, I've been doing even more work because I've taken some time off. You know, I haven't done much. Earned a couple $1,000s the last 6 weeks or so. Really not doing anything. And I said, you know, I gotta do more. I said I want to get to $10,000 a month within the next 90 days. I want to get to $20,000 a month before the year is over. I want 10 people on my team to earn $10,000 a month before the year is over. You know, and it just, that's a breakthrough for me. So they come at those little moments, you know, and that's really what it is. It's about the choice, you know, and I chose that I was not going to let money dictate what was best for me in my life and my family's life anymore.
I also have an answer.
You do?
I do.
She does.
I do. I'm actually taking it more microscopic because Isaac, he's a Sagittarius, so he always sees things on the bigger picture. And for me, I'm a Virgo, so I'm very detail-oriented. And one of the things I picked out of your question was, how do you do the videos? If you are shy and you're wanting to put yourself out there, it really is all about practice. I actually did a few videos about it already, but it takes a lot of courage to just put the camera in front of your face and just start talking and pick a topic. What I've done is I write out exactly what I think I want to say in a journal, just kind of put my thoughts down, and I read it and reread it and reread it, and then I turn on the camera and I already have those thoughts in my head, so then I just go for it. And I might not say it verbatim, which you probably shouldn't anyway, but then it starts to naturally flow. And sometimes I do maybe 3 to 5 takes, but ultimately you just want to get it out there. And each time I've done it, it actually is getting so much easier. And if you can learn how to do the keywords, then you can get it in the right places so that your video actually does get watched. And I think the fun part is actually when you start seeing in the YouTube video manager section where it says how many views you're getting, and you're like, yes, some people are watching. And then at the same time, even though there's so little views, you actually don't realize how many people are perusing and seeing your posts. And eventually, because you're up there all the time, they start kind of clicking on it, and then they'll eventually watch you more, especially if you have something they're interested in about.
Good. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother.
So, Ray, do you have a question for us?
Hey, Ray, just popped on.
How's it going, guys? The Kakutas are having a party, so I'm a little late. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, May is dealing with life and her baby, so she's taking care of Jordan. So she was interviewing us, and she's passed it along to the panel. So if there's any questions that are rattling around in your head that you would love to ask the amazing Candice and Isaac Box, please feel free.
Yeah, I have a few actually.
Oh,
one of
cool.
them was, what is your secret to being such a sexy, powerful couple?
Ooh.
You want to answer that one?
Sure. I have to say that it has been a work in progress. Where we are now, actually, I guess how long? We're almost 5 years together. Only 3 months married, and it's been interesting because we both met here on the island of Oahu, but he's from California. So for about a year and a half, we were back and forth with one another, and we really had to learn how to communicate over the phone. And so when he moved here, we actually had to really get to know each other even better, like as an everyday relationship, because now we're seeing each other. So our communication skills are pretty fabulous. So I feel like we learn how to communicate with each other, listen to each other's feelings, so that we can really get to a higher place with each other. Whatever. And by the, yes, he's like that.
Whatever.
Whatever.
It's true. It's true, though. It's true. You know, for me, I didn't know this for a long time, but you know, sexy just comes natural for me, brother. It's just,
You know, I gotta tell you, Isaac, a lot of people work really, really hard at that, man. But for you, man, it's just a natural thing, you know.
Oh, I was born with it. What are you gonna do?
I know. I did have a question, though. I did have a question for you, for both of you. This goes along the lines of personal development. So there's a number of people, couples especially, on the internet that have a following, and some of them because of either their marketing skills or financial achievements and things like that. And I personally, for me and Kara, we respect a lot of the things that you stand for, and but my question is along the lines of personal development, because that a lot of people are looking to, there's a big growth in that industry. I think a lot of people are looking towards that industry for themselves. And can you shed some light? Maybe you probably have, each of you have your own story about how you, I guess, have gotten gotten really have grown personally in that area. You've taken different courses, or you've gone to different classes, or you personally maybe you are on a quest or are inspired. Can you just really briefly, maybe if in your own words, in your own story, how you actually got on that path? Because for a lot of people, they're really not. Some of them are just kind of living through life in a daze. And Isaac and I had a really good conversation in the car the other day. We were driving. It was pretty cool. But if you could tell your story about how it happened for you, and then how it works together in this business for you, what role does that play in your success?
Cool. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I'm going to answer the last thing first. How it works in this business is huge. When I listen to all the successful people, people who have earned 6 figures in this business, 7 figures in this business, when I listen to successful people who have earned billions of dollars, I listen to all these people talk. What I've learned since I became an entrepreneur and started creating my own passive income in my own businesses, I learned that the key was personal development. If they didn't like the results that they were getting externally, they can't change what's external. They have to change what's internal first. You got to change what's inside to get different results on the outside. So when I really jumped on this business about a year ago, and I discovered that a few months into it, I was so excited because I was like, holy shit, I've done about 5 years of groundwork. I'm ahead of the game. This is awesome, right? And it just continuously happens. How I got into personal development was really, I went to jail, and I was clean and sober for 6 months in jail, and I was just, wow, I got to change my life. I just had made that choice when I got out, I did this 52-week program that they made me do, right? But it was a wonderful program. It taught me all these little things that, you know, you just don't know unless your parents teach you. My parents didn't know because their parents didn't teach them, right? So I learned all these wonderful things, and I taught my parents too. But that was my first introduction to personal development. And then Candice, I'll let her tell you that story, but she introduced me into more of the very highly regarded seminars, and she got me around the right people to go to the right places to learn more. And when I moved to Hawaii about 3 years ago, I had taken 2 of them right when I moved here, and after that, bro, there's no going back. Once your consciousness shifts and you see things in your perspective and point of view shift in a certain way, and you see things that 85% of the world doesn't see, you can never go back to sleepwalking because you understand what it was doing to you when you were there. And I was dying myself. My spirit was dead. So I had this wonderful awareness, and through that awareness I started to become more spiritual. Now I have more of a spiritual awareness, and it just grows every day, and it grows every year. And it's just such a big part of my life. It's actually my highest value in life is personal development, because it's why we're such a sexy couple. It's, you know, when we've grown into this, we're 2 different people than we were before we got together, but we're closer now than we were before because we grow together. We don't grow apart. See, in relationships, you can grow together, or you're gonna if you can grow like this. If one person changes and the other one doesn't want to change, bye-bye. They're off the screen, right? So, you know, we grow. I grow, pull her along. She grows, pulls me along. And most of my stuff was resistant, especially when I first moved here. I didn't want to take any of those freaking classes, man. I don't need those things, you know. And I was really resistant, dude. But I saw the results in her, and I wanted those results. So, yeah. That's really how I got into my personal development. How'd you get into yours?
What's interesting is I started a long time ago, you know, just soul searching for a lot of different things. But when I really started changing was in the year of 2008, when a friend of mine introduced me to Psi seminars. And what's interesting is I went through the whole entire program in a year, and you know, learning about manifestation, learning about your limiting beliefs. And one thing I told myself was, I found out this couple had met at Principia, and I was like, I see my man at Principia. I see my man at Principia. And literally a week before I went to Principia, I met this guy here in Oahu, and he is from California. And he told me he'd take me around. So before I went to Principia, he picked me up, we hung out, and he drove me to the ranch, which is where it was located, and he dropped me off, and I stared back at him leaving, and I'm like, oh my God, I just saw my man at Principia. It was really cool. So anyway, after that, it was great. I have a lot of manifesting stories with him. But after that, I took Ikepono, which is another seminar course that I completely love as well. I think Psi seminars is like the yang aspect, very high energy, and then the Ikepono is a very yin aspect, very inward with and more about love and changes and loving yourself. And then I just graduated from an energy healing school program. It's called Sacred Path Healing. And that was 3 years of really digging deep into like the darkest pits of places I've never wanted to go back to. And by excavating all of that, I realized the power of where you can go to. I mean, that's part of the American dream for so long, is like you can dream of anything and anything can happen, and it's true. You know, it's just you have to get those limiting beliefs out of the way. You have to really deal with the stuff you haven't dealt with in a long time and just find who you really are and find that passion again. So, yeah, I can't go back either. I love taking different classes and always like learning and bettering myself. I think it's important. I mean, if you stay comfortable for too long, I think that's the time when you should kind of check yourself, because then you're not living, you're decaying.
Yeah, it's that's some good stuff. I didn't know the story behind the story with you guys on how you guys actually, number one, met. I kind of got the picture from Isaac the other night, but as far as your path and how you grew personally, it's kind of cool. So you mentioned manifestation, right? And I'm just skimming the surface on this stuff right now, which is really interesting. It's really interesting stuff for me, because all of the top leaders and inspirational speakers, they all, if I go back and I actually would watch their different videos or read their different books, they talk about manifestation in different parts of their stories. And you just mentioned that, right? And so, in your words, if you were to apply that concept to this business, right, that we're actually building and and actually working, what role does that play, do you think, in the success you've seen and the success that you are gonna have in the future? How does manifestation play in the business?
That's Candice's expertise is manifestation.
I heard. That's why I heard she's here live. So I wanted to ask her.
Yeah, that's for you.
Quite honestly, it can happen in different ways. I think one of the coolest ways, which is one of the hardest ways as well, is to put the idea out there and completely let it go, like no attachment. I have a story for that. I was wanting to take this foot reflexology class. It was posed to me like just this amazing class that I should take, and it was literally $1,500. And I did not have the money. And I said, if it's meant to be, it'll happen. So I just put it out there, tossed it. I had no attachment of taking it. I had no, like, I gotta make it work, I gotta make it work. I was just like, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Literally the next morning at 7 a.m. I get a phone call. I didn't answer it because I'm like, who in the world is calling me at this hour? And later when I listened to the phone message, it was an ex-boyfriend that I hadn't seen or talked to in several years. And he called to tell me that he just registered for his account for stocks, and he had forgotten that he and I had put stocks in there together. And they contacted him and said, you need to either sell or cash them out or exchange them. So he ended up cashing it out. So he's like, Candice, we have $4,000 and $2,000 of it is yours. And I was like, I'm going to foot reflexology class. So, I mean, it was just so out of the blue, but it just happened. And I have one more story about that, too.
What did you say, though? Because she was asking me, should I go to this class, Isaac? Should I take this class? And I said, what do you think? She goes, well, I want to. She goes, I'm just in between payments right now with some clients and whatnot. And I said, well, if you're really supposed to go to that class, you'll find a way. And she goes, you're right. You know what? It always happens. If I'm supposed to go, the money will appear. And then we talked about that night, and she woke up in the morning, and the money had appeared that morning, which was cool. Yeah. So.
It's crazy. And then another time it happened like that, too. I actually was thinking about personal training. And I wanted to take that course as well. And I was like, I want to do it. If it's going to happen, it'll happen. And one of my clients wrote out a check to me for $1,000. And I called her and I was like, did you know you just wrote me a check for $1,000? Oh, I don't know what I was thinking. And I was like, it's okay, we can use that for like a 10 package. And she's like, oh, perfect. So I actually literally got my money to go to the personal training class. So it's kind of interesting. It's just like if you let go of what it is and not have fear about it, it's just like if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And I think with, working an online system, I feel like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If we just kind of keep doing what we need to do, it'll happen the way it needs to happen. And, Isaac has been able to generate about over 35,000 in the last, since we've started. And all of that came from just letting go. He didn't make it happen. He just kind of told people about it, and it just happened for us. So I mean, that's what this business is all about, really, is like just putting yourself out there and waiting for it to happen. And it does. And then another way of manifesting is really like super focused on it. I wrote out what is called a love contract, and I wrote out like for him.
I didn't exist before she manifested me. That was really, I think, what she believed for like 2 years is I just appeared.
He just appeared.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, she really believed that.
Right. Well, well, what I wrote was called the love contract, and you can actually do this for business. You can do this for anything. I've actually done it for several other things, and it happened exactly the way it needed to. And my love contract, I wrote down that I'm so happy. It's like what I said. It's November 2009, and I'm so happy and excited now that I've met the man of my dreams. And then I wrote down his qualities that I wanted in a man, like the characteristics, and then I wrote down the qualities that I had in myself, and then I wrote down what it looks like together. And at the end I said, "Thank you, God, for it is done," and then I signed my name. And I would say it every single day, no matter if I believed it or not. I just said it with the feeling like I already had it. And I even memorized it, so every time even I felt down, I said it. And lo and behold, after I had written that, I met him about a month later. And he was a lot of the things that were on my love contract. And I've actually taught this to several women who also have found their mates this way, which is phenomenal. And actually one of them was still kind of getting over a relationship. So even though her time period was like a month later, it literally took her a year because she had to let go of the old. And I think with our business too, you can't bring the old with you. You got to really come from the present and look towards the future of where you want to go. Because if you bring back the old, you're going to bring back all of the things that kept you from like that relationship, keeps you from having a job where you can make a lot of money. With the past, you have like a cap on certain things. So if you can let that go and move forward and focus on that, the manifesting becomes quite easy as well.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. Isaac, I can't believe that you were manifested so quickly.
I know, that's why I'm so sexy.
I know. Such a badass dude like you. I mean, you're just manifested like recently.
Yeah, that's how people like me are created, I guess.
I know
you're manifested.
I know, you're glowing, man. I love it, man. That's cool. No, honestly, that's an interesting angle that you actually talked about because, like I said, right, I'm just kind of scratching the surface on this, and it's amazing how when I look at things now, it's a lot different from before. Which is all part of self-awareness, right? If you think about it, right, there's a lot of things on how you perceive things, right? Perceive the world. But hey, May. Hello, May.
She's back.
Hi.
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 Nice
So yeah,
to have you all here.
yeah. I don't want to hog the stage. I had some questions for.
I didn't hear anything that happened, so I'm really not gonna jump in right now.
Oh.
Keep going, and I'm gonna when I feel like inspiration, I'll jump in.
Okay. Let's see. So, did anybody else have any questions though? I didn't want to hog the platform here.
So are you
No?
guys gonna have kids soon?
We like
No.
them.
Yeah, it's like we'd like them and no. Is that what I heard? What?
He's joking.
Yeah.
Um,
No, we're going for it. I think
You're
she's
manifesting. Are you manifesting a
I think
child?
she's
Are
attempting to
you?
manifesting, and I'm subconsciously unmanifesting. So I have to go to the conscious manifestation part. Be a team.
Well, you
Yes,
know,
we want
Jordan. Yeah, Jordan's available to hold and carry to give you some experience. You know, and give you that. You know, and if you want to shoot some videos, I actually use Jordan, or I'm planning to very soon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
I was gonna say you haven't used Jordan, although you keep talking about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, one day I'm gonna follow you guys
He's
and
been
have to shoot some
warming
videos.
it up. He's been like picking up Jordan
Oh
every
yeah,
time he sees him, getting
yeah,
him used to
we're buddies at the events. You know, whenever Jordan's there, you know, it's either me or Jamel carrying him.
That's some good income. It's $100 an hour to take videos with Jordan.
It's another
Yeah,
income
we should
stream
have
there,
kids.
me.
Exactly.
We should have like twins, and we can make $200 an hour.
You guys are the ones gonna have
Kids coming
twins.
soon,
Remember?
guys.
You guys are the ones who are gonna have twins. See?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're next, and then we'll just pass the babies around. In fact, the next hangout, anyone holding the baby talks. We'll just do it that way.
Yeah.
Like the conch shell. That's awesome.
Did you guys talk about your vision at all? Like what you visualize for your future and for your team and for your business and anything like that?
Oh, that's a cool question.
Right. That is actually a good question. For me, my vision when I first started this internet business, everyone talked about vision and intention, and it was really difficult for me to get like really clear. I'm like, okay, I want this and I want this, and then it would shift and it would change as I shifted and changed. But just recently, some events had happened, and some things had really shifted and moved and made some things very clear for me. And you know, I'm going to be earning $10,000 a month within the next 90 days. I'm going to be earning $20,000 a month before the end of the year. I want to grab 10 people, and I want 10 people on my team to earn $10,000 a month before the end of the year, because that's what I know is possible. I know that's possible, and I know more is possible. And my vision is really just to, we're talking about consciousness today, Ray, and we're talking about, you know, people kind of just sleepwalking through life, and I was that person, and I just believe that people like the people on this panel, we have overcome so much, and we have raised ourselves to this awareness. I mean, we're just scratching the surface. The more I learn, the more I realize I don't know anything, right? But at the same time, I believe that I am here to help create more of the consciousness, more of the shift and the change of consciousness that's already happening. It's already happening right now in the world, and I'm a part of it, and I love being a part of it. So I work on myself, and I walk the walk, and I talk the talk in order to you know, lead by example, inspire others. But that's really what I want, is to create a group of people, a team of people who basically just go outside of just this one resource. I want more multiple resources. There's other resources that we're introducing our team to create a financial freedom, so people don't have to think about money anymore. They can do, and I talked about this earlier about my breakthrough with Dan, people can do what they really want to do in life without having to stop and consider, oh, can I afford it? Is this what I can do right now depending on my checkbook? They can go chase their highest values and their higher purpose in life because they have a monetary freedom to do so. And that's really what it is for me, is I just want to help people really live the life that they were supposed to live. I believe we're put here on this plane of existence all with a purpose, all with a higher purpose, and some of us are walking that path, some of us get over to the left of it, and then we find it again, and we get off to the right, and maybe some of us never really find that higher purpose, but we all have one, and I just really want to create a team where everybody can just find their higher purpose and just move towards it, and thus changing the world. But yeah, seriously.
Candice, do you want to add to that at all?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, for a while I wasn't sure what my purpose was, and I had to look kind of back into the past and like connect the dots. Like, what were the things I was good at? What were the things I involved myself in? And a lot of it was actually a lot of seminars and retreats. And it's funny because, I mean, I did it through college, I did it through high school, church. I just always participated in whatever it was that took us out of school into like a safe atmosphere where we could all talk about our feelings and all of that. So I realized where I want to take my business is to reach out globally to people and help them out. I mean, I started a spiritual life coaching business that I've been able to reach out to people in the UK and in Canada, and I just want to be able to help people all over the place and start building retreats and having them come here to Hawaii and have a place to heal and deal with what's going on inside of them so that they can go out there and, like Isaac said, live their purpose. And eventually I feel like Isaac and I are both strong healers, and I feel that we can tackle the mind, body, spirit, and emotion through our wellness center. And I see that where people are coming to see us and learning all about those four corners. And I feel it's going to come soon. We're just in the process at the moment, which has been nice because when we wanted to make it happen, we were actually looking at different retreat sites, but we're like, okay, we have the places, we have the plan, but we don't have the marketing. And lo and behold, Empower Network comes into our view, and Isaac's like, I'm going to jump on board. And so I was like, great, because maybe this is the way we're going to be able to get a lot of people to come and see us. And it's true. I mean, the people, the views, the likes, our list, it's just continuing to grow. So we're starting to build what we need in order to eventually branch out and do something bigger and better. And at the same time, I also want to have a family together and enjoy being at home with him and not have to work outside so much. Especially with my business, I'm a massage therapist, and I only see people like one-on-one. And so if I'm not working, then nobody's working, and that's tough, not making any income there. So it's nice to have the passive income and then build it into something bigger.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love how you guys are using the Empower Network also to help with your overall goal, and how it's also integrated into that goal because it brings people financial freedom, which adds to their, you know, spiritual goal and their purpose and all that kind of thing. So that's pretty cool. That's why I love you guys. You're so integrated. I don't know how to say it.
We don't. The one thing is,
it's a whole.
Yeah, we don't close off and say we know everything, because we limit answers. So we're just open to whatever, you know, and we know the truth when we hear it. So we can be more whole like that. There's wonderful things that come into our grasp. Actually, I have a funny story for you guys real quick. You guys are going to enjoy this. I played this cash flow game by Robert Kiyosaki.
Kiyosaki.
Is it Kiyosaki? Thank you. Kawasaki.
No.
Yamaha. Those are good bikes. So I played the game for the first time, and I was able to get out of the rat race for the first time. And I guess what I've heard is not a lot of people get out of the rat race when they first play. Um, Whatever. I'm a fast learner, I guess. But the cool thing about it was the lady that was teaching me how to play the game, she put the whole thing together, did not make it out of the rat race. Okay? The reason why is she did not utilize the resources around her. Okay? I had made a good investment. I had made about $400,000 off the investment. So the key to the game is, if anybody doesn't know how to play it, your monthly expenses, you have to get a passive amount of income to exceed your monthly expenses. It's not as easy as it looks, as it sounds. But as soon as it exceeds, you get out of the rat race. Then you get on the outer circle, you start making more money, and eventually win the game. Well, I had just made some money. She got this deal that was going to put her right out of the rat race, but she didn't have enough money. And I say to her, I say, you know what? I want that deal. I really hope that your numbers don't add up, because I don't want you to buy it. However, I will give you the money because I want you to succeed. And she says to me, instead of taking the money, because I had the money, it was only $50,000. She just sold it to me for $1,000. She didn't use my resource. So I got out of the rat race the next turn, right? The guy next to me, he needed $100,000 to get out of the rat race. I loaned him $100,000. Next turn, he paid me back. He's out of the rat race. He helps his wife get out of the rat race doing the same thing. You know who never got out of the rat race? The lady who didn't utilize the resources around her, the people, the team around her. It was so interesting. So the point is, I told her about a couple of resources that she could use immediately and start earning like $10,000 a month and pay off her mortgages in less than 5 years, right? Right over her head. She didn't listen. She didn't hear it because she knew everything, right? So those resources fell by the wayside. And that's what I do not want to do for myself. I want to keep myself open and available for all the information that's coming to me, so I can utilize a resource just to integrate it with my other resources. Does that make sense? It's an interesting story. I think I put it together well enough.
Yeah,
I think also,
totally.
Cool.
and on top of that, I feel like, you know, just joining this company anyway, like everybody here is a wealth of resources. I mean, going to the events, you just meet so many wonderful people with so many different backgrounds, and even some really disheartening stories, but they're getting themselves out of that story and moving forward, and they're not letting anything stop them. And so when you just talk to any of the number of people within this company, it's just, their stories are amazing, and they have so much knowledge on the internet, on different other resources, or spirituality. It's just, I love this team. It's awesome.
Yay! No, seriously, you guys are here because, you know, I know everything. So, I'm just kidding.
That's good.
No, yeah, I love the team too. I'm glad that you could come on this hangout tonight to share your point of view. I'm glad that Ray could pop on to interview you when I was taking care of a baby. I'm glad that everybody's here, and we actually do have viewers. I have this little control panel here, so hi viewers. So we have people watching, and these hangouts, I think, like Isaac and Candice, want to raise the consciousness of, and well, be a part of the raised consciousness of the world and help make the world a better place. And it happens every time we do a hangout, and people watch these hangouts. They still watch them, ones that I did before. They're still watching the replays over and over. Everything said on here makes a difference in somebody's life somewhere along the line, and it'll happen for years to come. So it's a great thing. So thank you so much for being on the hangout tonight. Even though I wasn't here half of it, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to let you guys have some final words, and also before I let you go on your final words, there's a link under this hangout, and if there's not a link underneath to join this company, then just talk to the person who sent you here, or just message one of us on this panel, and we'll help you get started, because this is an invitation for everybody. We love this company and we want to help other people become successful. So there is a link under here. Click the link and just get started. So with that, do you guys have any final words?
Yeah. Basically, one thing I want to say too is the way I realize, you know, I talked about changing the world, and I know it's such a cliche when people say that. So I want to bring it down to a smaller level, but it's actually a much bigger level if you think about it. The best way to change the world is to change yourself. You know, if you raise your vibration and if you raise your consciousness, it's going to hold space. It's going to allow other people to come and meet you at that level. And it's just a simple ripple effect. By healing yourself, you're going to help heal others. It's just that simple. You can't help anybody until you help yourself. And that's the biggest point that I want to make. So just really love yourself. It's a good example I like to look at is think of yourself as a cup. And if the cup's empty, how are you going to love anybody? How are you going to actually exude that love and give it out? So the only way you can really give out love is when the cup is overflowing. So think of yourself as an overflowing cup, and you can give from the overflow. And if you're empty, go run in a corner somewhere and go love yourself. Just go get right. You know what I mean? And that's really it. You know. And basically, like May said, you know, go ahead and message us. You can message me on Facebook personally if you're interested in what I'm saying. I actually am gathering 10 people right now to run with me. 10 serious people who want to commit to changing their lives and really finding some financial freedom in their higher purpose in life. I only have 5 spots left. They are filling up fast. I just made this offer about 10 days ago. So message me on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook, Isaac Box. It's quite simple to find me. If you're interested, come run with me. And you know, I can't guarantee anything because I can't guarantee your commitment. But I am going to help 10 people earn $10,000 a month before the end of the year.
Nice. One of my final words, I heard this quote somewhere, is, "Do not dream so much that you forget to live." And I love that because, you know, you can dream of having a big house, having a car, having a family, but if you don't take the action steps to go after it, it'll never be. So start living your life, be present, and just do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Thanks, guys. Oh, she's on.
You're muted,
You're
May.
muted, May.
Thank you for telling me that. I had no idea. I'm just like talking. Anyway.
I watched it a while. It was fun.
Thank you. You know, I don't. Anyways, all I'm going to say is good night, everyone. This is the end of the Hangout. Click on the link below this video or talk to the person who sent you here. And if you want to be on Isaac's team, message him. He's serious when he says that. And have a good night, everyone. Bye.
Good night.